mean, not all of this. That would have been exciting. Okay, parent connection. First off, I really just have to thank you guys for letting me have a second attempt at this. I was super sad to miss June when I was initially scheduled, but thank you so much for all of the prayers and the thoughts for my daughter when she had her accident. We could feel it. We had miracles, and it was a horrible, amazing experience. And I really appreciate you guys being a part of it and praying for us and all the things. So, and thanks for letting me come back after I didn't show up the first time. Thanks for letting me come back. So we're going to talk about our parents. Whether we like it or not, everyone that comes through our studio doors, we're going to create a relationship with them. Whether it's intentional, whether it's unintentional, there is a relationship we have. And so today I'm hoping we can kind of put some purpose behind it and decide what it is we want from that relationship or what we want it to look like. Oh, this converted kind of funny. It looked better on my computer. It was not like that, but that's okay. What kind of a relationship do you want? We're not quite a personal relationship with our parents because, well, they're paying for a service that we're offering, and whether it be that some of them are family members or friends, which started out as personal, it shifts even those ones once they come to our studio doors and we're offering this service. So it's not personal, but it's also not just a business experience because we're dealing with their most prized possession, being their children. And we get to interact with them every week. So it's not just a business relationship either. And that means that we kind of get to navigate new ground and figure out like, which way are we gonna lean? We can lean a little more on the personal or a little more on the business if we want, but if you make a decision about what this looks like, I think you're gonna be happier just so that you can decide that. Create where your boundaries are, where your expectations are all those things. So understanding this, I decided to look up stages of relationships. This opens some interesting doors, and I won't share all of it with you, but there are like official stages of relationships, not only personal but also business, and so I kind of combined the two. I gathered the synopsis of what I was reading and I put it down. So there's 4 stages, and the first one, the customer compares products. The nice thing with that is that one's totally out of our hands. Like Shelly and Dave, they're the first face behind everything, and it's a good thing they look so good, right? Because yes, they've done not only a good job with presenting an awesome product, but presenting it in a way that's really enticing. So we don't get to have a lot of say in this one. This is the company which has done a great job. The next one is the customer interacts with you. This is the beginning of where you get to decide how that relationship goes. You start to present yourself, you start to present your studio culture, whether that be a phone call or an email or a text or a message on social media. That's like they have the first interaction. And you can decide whether you want to lean more, personal or business with that, or just informational, or thank you so much for contacting me. I've been waiting for someone just like you. Whatever you want it to be, that's your first interaction. The next one is, and this is where we get most excited, this conversion. They've gathered all of their information, they've compared products, they've had interaction with you, and they sign up! And you get all excited because you have a new student in your studio. This means they've, so far, liked what they've seen. But the truth is, they don't actually know very much about you or class and how it's gonna go. This is a really great stage to be at. But there's more that comes that's a lot bigger, right? I will point out at this stage, the most important thing you can do is set proper expectations. I want you to put a little star on your page there. Set expectations, okay? Because that's gonna determine this next stage. This is where the party happens, in your head, right? Loyalty and retention, They become your best recruiters. This is where you have the parent that's like calling their girlfriend and is bringing other people to your studio and they're posting on social media for you. They start doing that work for you because you have exceeded their expectations, because they love what is happening in your class and with your studio culture. Okay, so side note, there you go. There's your arrow to remind you. Set expectations. I created this really official graph for you to look at. This is the loyalty and retention graph. And in the middle, you can see this is where you meet expectations. Anything higher is exceed, anything lower is don't meet expectations. There's a sad truth about meeting expectations, and that is that no one is gonna talk about you if you meet their expectations, which is a little unfair and a little bit counterintuitive, because you think, if I've like followed through and done all the things I should, I'm pretty much a rock star, right? But nobody's gonna talk about that. If you say to them, I'm gonna send you an email, and you send it, they're gonna be like, great. Not, you're amazing! I don't think I have ever had a friend call me and say, hey, Marja, we just went to the most mediocre class. We were supposed to learn about like all these concepts, which we did, and the teacher said she's gonna like contact me after. She sent some information. We totally had like a mad time, and I think you should go. That is meet expectations, right? Here's the other exciting part about getting people to talk about you. It's gonna happen down here. Like, imagine if you went into class and it was a disaster, or think of your worst experience you've had out at a store or something. I had a parent tell me the other day that she went to this restaurant that unfortunately I really like, and she said there were rats in the lights above them. Which is so sad because I really like this place. I guess I like rat food stuff. But you better believe she was talking about it. Like, she wasn't saying, hey, go, but it got her talking. If somebody came to your studio and there was a disaster, or your dog bit them, like, they would talk, but it wouldn't be like, come join us. Be like, stay away, right? So we're gonna aim for this area up here in exceed expectations. That's where the magic is gonna happen of having them become your loyal recruiting parents. And yes, there is purpose and reward for us to have a connection, but I also want you to see that this does your studio good. Like, it's a win-win-win all the way around, right? Okay, so how do we get there? Oh, there you go. You have to exceed expectations for anyone to talk about you better than expected for them to become your recruiters. How are we gonna get there? Number one, the product speaks for itself. Thanks, Shelly, Dave, it's pretty great, because it does. Like, people talk about the program and the classes and all that we have to offer because it does speak for itself. That one, luckily, is out of our hands. Check it off the list, it's done. The next one is we could look at improving our environment. Like, anytime you've had something that you upgrade in your physical space or you've improved there, that's improve your environment. You can evaluate your studio culture. This one's a little trickier because it refers to like the community feel of your studio, which isn't just you, but other parents and other students, and so it's a little bit out of your hands, but also you can have a lot to influence in there. And the last one is you can improve your interactions with parents. Very much in our hands. So we're gonna focus on, you guys, this just didn't convert very well, because it should have this one in here too. Like, it's not just, it's all of these. This is all connection. So just make a note of that. We're gonna focus on all three of those last ones with parent connection. Okay, it gets easy to kind of bog yourself down with, I have to look a certain way. When I first trained for Let's Play Music, it was magical. Shelly was my trainer, and if you've ever watched Shelly teach, it is magical. She like sucks you right in. And I remember leaving and thinking like, oh, I'm not like bubbly, and I'm not like high energy. I mean, I can turn it on sometimes, I suppose, but I remember thinking like, I don't know if I can do this. And it took me a while to realize that when I'm genuine to who I am and what I bring to the table, that's where I find success. And the same is true for parent connection. If you are true to who you are and not pretending or trying to fill a role, the being genuine is where the real connection happens. They can feel if it's not. And then it's also not rewarding to you if you're trying to like pretend. Oh, I'm so happy to see you today. Right? I mean, everybody can feel that. So, here's my first example. I love humor. I just really love it. It is the perfect go-to for me because when you're feeling awkward, you can just make it funny instead of this, no, this is like actually how I am. It's a great way to meet people. It's a great way to kind of like help everyone feel more comfortable. That's my go-to. But if you're not connected to humor, that's okay. Maybe you are somebody that's a little bit more nurturing. That's a great strength. Or maybe you're somebody that's more soft-spoken. I discovered anew yesterday in training that Simi is the best soft-spoken intensity. Like she whispers and you're like, what? It's just this magical thing that's magical for Simi because it's true to who she is. Or maybe you're just a super expressive person and that's the way that you connect. I think a lot of us are actually. I think that we are drawn to Let's Play Music because most of us, like, you can see it, what's happening, right? So,